Hello, and welcome to Criminal Action. I got my cute little new headphones on. Hopefully you can hear me better. I wanted to talk a little bit more about Sebastian Rogers because I had the chance to talk to my 18-year-old stepson, who is a high-performing Asperger autistic boy. So I got to have some inside information as to what might have gone through Sebastian's head with my son. Now, I know all autistic children are different, but it should help shed some light. Before I get into it, please like and subscribe to my channel. Turn on those notifications so you can see the next time I upload a video. And welcome to the family if you're new. If you're coming back, thank you for sticking around, and hopefully I continue to inspire you to do some research and help get the word out about these missing children. So, getting into it, Sebastian Rogers is a 15-year-old boy that, from all accounts that I've heard, is a high-performing autistic child. He can grasp some things, but mentality-wise, he may act a few years younger, according to what's being said. I'm not so sure about that. So, like I said in the beginning, I got to talk to my stepson, who is a high-performing autistic child, just asking a few questions. He does not know about the case. Or didn't know about the case. Let me rephrase that. He did not know about the case until I talked to him about it. But I also asked permission to talk to him about it before I asked my questions. Okay. So, my first question to him is, if you were going to run away on your own accord, this was your choice, just to walk out the door on your own, what would you take with you? And he says, well, if I'm leaving by myself, on my own, I'd take my Game Boy, which Sebastian had a Switch, so I'd count that as kind of equal. A change or two of clothes, if I knew I was going to be gone for a while, and some snacks. Now, he likes fishing, so a few snacks and going fishing, yeah, he'd do it. The question is whether or not he'd know how to cook it. From what I understand, he's learning, and I am so proud of him for as far as he has come. So, if he was leaving on his own, he'd pack a bag. I said, okay, well, would you put your shoes on? Or would you leave them behind? He says, well, I'd put my shoes on. I don't like to feel the ground under my feet, the sensation of it, which a lot of autistic children actually have problems with sensory overload. And that could just be the simple texture of something. I have a friend who has a mute autistic child, and she can't stand the feel of silk on her skin. Kind of like my stepson can't stand the feel of dirt and gravel and that under his feet. He just doesn't like it. So the likelihood that Sebastian Rogers walked out on his own accord with a decision, in my opinion, is slim to none. So I went in further and asked him, what would make you leave the house without shoes? He says, well, I'd have to be in a quick hurry, and I'd have to be scared of something or someone chasing me. And I says, okay. If someone was chasing you, you might leave the house without your shoes. Well, yeah, if I was scared of them, was his answer. I said, okay, let's go back to the things that you would pack. I mean, would you pack shorts, pants, t-shirts? What kind of snacks would you take? He says, well, I'd take at least one pair of shorts in case I wanted to go swimming. And he's the type that he likes water no matter what it is. From all accounts, allegedly, Sebastian did not like dirty water or river water. He would go swimming in a chlorinated pool, but not a lake or a river. Okay, so there's a difference between the two. My stepson absolutely loves the beach, river in our area. So there's a difference there. Like I said, all children are different. But I've also asked several other people that have autistic children if their children would leave the house without their shoes, especially if they've had a negative scenario like what Sebastian did with the ants pile that he stepped in when he was younger. So he was very adamant, and he'd been doing it for years, so I don't think that would change now. So we went further into, some of the situation, and I explained that this boy just, poof, gone. Kind of like David Copperfield. Gone, poof. No scent, no nothing. And even he knows that there should have been a scent if he walked out. At his age, he understands there would be a scent. And it would be even stronger scent if he was barefoot because of the adrenaline in that. From the anxiety of going out of the house barefoot. Alright? And it could cause a meltdown in autistic children when they end up going against what they normally do. It causes a meltdown. Overstimulation also can cause a meltdown. Now, I wanted to bring up overstimulation simply because we got to talking about the day before. If he would be able to do some of the things that Sebastian did without having issues. And he straight out said that he wouldn't be able to go to a bowling alley. The constant, instant cracks of the bowling pins would set him off. And I think that's probably the same way with Sebastian Rogers if he's autistic. That loud crack. And when you're at a bowling alley, it doesn't have a rhythm. It doesn't have anything. It's just there, kind of like thunder. And that's another thing. Did you know, fun fact, did you know that most autistic children are scared of thunderstorms because of the loud crack of thunder? Interesting fact. I mean, as they get older, maybe things will change, but as a younger child, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be scared of the loud crack of a thunderstorm. And it's overstimulating, especially in a bad storm. I have been with a friend that had an autistic child that thought going to the bowling alley would be fun for him. And it wasn't. That poor child went through meltdown after meltdown. Even when we distracted him with the arcade games and the pizza and all that the goodies you can get at skating rinks and bowling alleys and things like that. Most bowling alleys will serve pizza and soda and things like that. So I don't know if the one there that he went to did. From what I've been told, he did not go bowling. He went to the arcade part of it. But even in the arcade, you're going to have lights, you're going to have sounds, you're going to have the cracks of the bowling balls and that in the background. And then on top of that, they went swimming. Or not swimming, shopping, sorry. My mind's on, would he go swimming in the retention pond? And I don't think he would, because he didn't like mucky water. But the simple fact is, this day was extremely overstimulating, in my opinion. As well as if you look at the picture, and Bullhorn Betty brought this up, and I know Clutch Them Pearls, hi, we talked earlier, thank you for your information. And they've got some wonderful videos out there, so please, I don't have a problem sharing any content, any creators that I like watching, so hopefully you don't mind the name drops, and you actually go over to their sites and say hi. They are wonderful people, individually. Some of them there's all kinds of drama and that between some of the creators, and I don't understand it, because the internet is big enough for everyone, in my opinion. But the simple fact that this day was overstimulating isn't the only concern I have. There is a picture from when they went shopping at Costco, and it looks like, yes, there's shadow. You can see shadow here. Like on me, there's a little bit of shadow. But in the shadow, there is what looks to be a thumbprint on his Adam's apple. And I talked to my nurse practitioner about it, and I showed her the picture. And she agreed that, yes, there is definitely a bruise in the center of his neck, looking to be on his Adam's apple. And she would put the timing from when that picture was taken, 7 to 10 days old, because of the coloring. Now, you can do your own research on that, but when I asked a nurse practitioner what she thought, and she told me this, I'm inclined to believe her that, the bruise was there. It was 7 to 10 days old. And she even says it looks like a thumbprint or a bar or something that pressed up against his Adam's apple hard enough just to bruise around the Adam's apple. Now, if someone's grabbing you like this to control you, trigger warning, if someone's grabbing you like this to control you, it's going to leave that bruise right there in the middle of the throat. Is that what happened? Don't know. Nobody knows except for Katie and Chris Proudfoot. Nobody knows. Nobody knows where he's at either. I think Katie holds the key. I think Katie is very, very, very much in the center of this. She was the only one home alone, remember? Now, I was just pointed out on Clutch Them Pearls. Thank you, Justin. Thank you. I did not see this before. But in the light phenomenon video, the flashlight phenomenon video that they say is a truck, which there's no way that's a truck. Because in the light walking back, and they pointed it out, he pointed it out very clearly to me, you can see an outline in the shadows of a person walking back to the house. Now, that could be more shadow tricks, but really, It's very convincing on how it's displayed. Go watch Clutch Them Pearls. Justin is awesome. Now, we also talked a little bit while I called into his channel and talked to him a little bit. And he was great. He's awesome to talk to. He also did some, pointed out a big fact in one thing that a lot of people have been missing, and I even missed it. Whatever that SUV is, I believe now is an American model because of the way the headlights are. He pointed out to me that they are vertical, up and down headlights, whereas a lot of European or Australian cars are horizontal. A lot of days they're horizontal anyway. Now, could this be one of those new cars that you can make the lights look different? Maybe. But they've got a point right there about the headlights and the taillights in the direction horizontal compared to vertical, horizontal, where the lights are in the vehicle, and he's right, it does not match up to Kathy Bowersock's vehicle like I thought. So, who was sitting there on the corner? Because I don't believe it was an Uber like they're trying to say for somebody over that way at 5 o'clock when it was sitting there at 3 o'clock. It doesn't make sense. What could make sense? Theory time. Again, I'd like to point out, disclaimer, all of my information is theoretical. I encourage you to do your own research. Please do so. I have had quite a few different creators showing me things that in my research I did not find. So, and then I rechecked that information that I was given by other creators. So, hopefully what I am putting out there is accurate. It is to the best of my ability at this point. The simple fact of the matter is, though, it should not be taken as fact. Okay, it's for entertainment, and we're just trying to figure out what happened to Sebastian Rogers. And again, I think Katie holds the key to that. What happened to your son, Katie? So, there's no real trace of him leaving the house. There's no video of him leaving the house. And, again, I'm going to put Clutch Them Pearls out there. They have one really, really good question over there, and that is, when Katie went to wake her son up for school, did she turn the lights on? Is there a camera that can validate that she actually turned the lights on in the home looking for him? And I'm going to say, just like my other video, seriously, in that case, vanity goes out the window. I'd walk out in a teddy if I had to try and find one of my kids. Okay. Now, they had an overstimulating day. He went to bed at 9 o'clock. And just before 10 o'clock, and according to Chris Proudfoot, this is for transparency, to be completely clear, which is really weird that he uses those words. Does anyone ever notice that the serial killer Dexter, the show on, I believe it's Netflix and Showtime has it, but it's a series about a serial killer. And he talks like that. It's really, really weird. Really weird. And that was pointed out to me on Bullhorn Betty's channel, actually. So there's another shout out and a drop. Bullhorn Betty, go see her. She's definitely eccentric. And she's definitely loud and proud. I love her. I do. Just like Justin, he's not afraid to be who he is. And he's not afraid to put it out there. He's awesome too. So again, like Justin asked, from Clutch Them Pearls, did she turn the lights on when she went looking for him at 6 o'clock in the morning? Is there a video that can collaborate that? Furthermore, why is there really only one video that we're seeing? We know other people have door cams and video. Where are they? Or is TBI keeping them so that nobody else can figure it out before them? I believe TBI and the police department are doing their best. They really are. In my opinion, though, they are severely having issues with being clear with the public. There, as far as I know, has not been a press conference or anything since the first couple of weeks of Sebastian Rogers missing. Pretty much after they went looking in the garbage dump, it's been silent outside of a few interviews here and there with Chris and Katie and Seth. Bringing up Seth Rogers, he does have his own channel now. Please look him up if you want to follow along what he's doing. He is a heartbroken father looking for his son. He has the channel to help raise funds for the search for his son. So please do go over there and subscribe to his channel and help support him finding his son. He seems to be the only one that's really trying. So if you're watching me, please look up Seth Rogers and subscribe to his channel so that you can help him out. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe and like and watch his shows. And that will help him out in the long run. So please, please, please go do that. Getting further into it. So, according to my stepson, he would not walk out the door on his own accord without his shoes. If he chose to run away and do this on his own, he would take a bag, at least a backpack, with some essential supplies. Clothes, snacks, a couple of sodas. And he said sodas, not drinks, sodas. Which I really, really, really wish that anyone that's running away, please don't run away. I'm not giving you the permission to run away. Don't take any of this as a, well, this content said to go ahead and do it. But if you're going to do it, at least be smart. I was a runaway at one point in time because I was in a foster home that wasn't controlling their children, and their children were being abusive to me, and they didn't believe it and they wouldn't stop it, so I took off. Did Sebastian take off because of abuse? Possibly. But you know what? I still put my shoes on. Matter of fact, I still went to school. Because that's where my friends that actually cared about me was. That was routine. Now, Sebastian has been off his meds. He's been out of routine. If he's still out there, and I so pray to Luna that he is. Yes, I'm a Wiccan. But I really, really do. I pray that Sebastian is out there and okay. However, the sinking feeling in my gut and my heart says this is not going to be the outcome that we're hoping for. I have even gone as far as to make up a theory line as to maybe he went to a behavioral camp and Seth said no, but Katie wanted him to go, so she made up this he ran away thing in order to get him to the camp. Let's see. No, it's not sponsored. It's just my favorite drink. So where is Sebastian? That's the bottom line. Where is Sebastian? Be it that he's in one piece, breathing and healthy, or be it that, I'm sorry to put it this way, he's in pieces buried somewhere. Please, Luna, don't let him be in pieces buried somewhere. But as a mom, I'm speaking to you, Katie. How can you leave your home knowing statistically, unless TBI didn't tell you, statistically, runaway children come home, especially ones with disabilities. They come home after they're done being mad. And you ran away. You went camping nonetheless. Now, I understand that there was a bunch of heat and you were scared maybe and things weren't going your way. But if that were my kid, I'd be telling everybody you can threaten, you can talk, you can say whatever the hell you want. I'm going to find my kid. I'm going to find my kid. I don't care what I look like. I sure in hell don't care to go out and eat at a barbecue joint. I wouldn't be able to eat. How was she able to eat right afterwards? I wouldn't be able to. I can't eat when I'm stressed. I throw it up. Trigger warning, by the way, guys. Trigger warning. But the reality of it is it's been way too long to do forensics in the house. It's not going to do a damn thing. And as far as I know and am aware of, there has not been any forensic testing, which the advocates for missing children have a guideline that states even if the child is a runaway, the last known location should be treated as a crime scene. Meaning there should be pictures taken, there should be forensics done. And if something happened, I know this is kind of gross, guys, I'm sorry. Being that I'm an ex-EMT on the crash unit, I have seen a lot of this. But when you're alive, you have sphincter muscles and intestinal muscles and bladder muscles and all that you have created control over growing up in the potty training process and learning to hold it when you're in a vehicle and in school, and those muscles hold all that in on a regular basis. Now, when you die, all of that releases. For more, like, share, and comment. And we'll get back to it as soon as possible. Have a wonderful night.